Hi. So today I'm just gonna blurt out whatever is on my mind, whatever's at hand, like the projects I have in store for myself. And first project has been actually applying myself in every breath because for all practical purposes, I have always been running in my mind, participating in imaginations, thoughts, actually, moment by moment, breath by breath, substantiating the mind, participating in thoughts, um, maintaining the necessary starting points to the necessary starting points to egg on reactions and um, been kind of lazy in that, where just because I lived a pattern until it's comfortable apparently means that it's going to be the rest of my life and I don't care and uh, I'll let the mind do whatever it needs to me anyway, sort of deal. Um, so, first point was applying myself in every breath, and within that, actually slowing down. It's funny because you to yourself, you can hear when you're pacing in the mind and when you're slowing down and getting to the actual physical detail necessary to really change. And the second point is writing and speaking self forgiveness. Because writing alone, writing by itself, tends to complement the mind, complement and complement the mind, and writing for a few days to a week of just writing, I find that it would have been better if I just wrote and spoke self forgiveness for those days. And in other words, when I'm purely writing, it's like I'm postponing change. I'm postponing what I need to look at. I'm postponing what I need to explain to myself to actually change my starting point and do things differently. If only differently from the starting point. Maybe, possibly, but there's just so many patterns that need to be corrected that hey, it could side either way. I mean, maybe the starting point completely changes, but the outside behavior doesn't. Or maybe the outside behavior completely changes, but the starting point is the same. I mean, I'm not hedging bets to either extreme, and I'm playing by ear in that sense. And leaving expectation out the door, and really starting to live. Like this virtual silence until this vlog has been a very poignant moment of silence where I'm beginning to get a first-hand feeling of the difference between consciousness, the con of consciousness, and living. Both use words. One is words under the principle of reaction, under the authority of the mind, and the other is living, also with words, but under the authority of, call it life awareness. What's best for all, always. And just because I'm a male doesn't mean I can't consider all things in a moment and make my decision. I'm not going to push out the possibility that in the beginning, I might not do it as good as a female to consider all things in a moment and make a decision because I am a male. But there's something perfect about imperfection, and there's something of practical worth in placing equal weight to every stage of the process and all stages of development. And linked to that is a saying that I made up. Like sometimes you have to lose sometimes. Sometimes you have to lose sometimes. And it's healthy to lose sometimes. And it's healthy to do something where you're a complete beginner sometimes. And it's good to deliberately step out of what you're comfortable with, the things that you already know, and thus guarantee the outcome in a sense. Sometimes it's good to step out of that and be a child again, be a beginner again. And so yeah, so far in short, in conclusion, this whole explanation has been living the statement that the key to life is breath. The key to life is breath. And I can see why it's said that it's going to be the most difficult thing imaginable, beyond my greatest fathomings. This process and journey to life is going to be, because you're asking an automated organic robot to by themselves become aware, and from reactions and thinking words to silence, emptiness, but inexhaustible. Living words in awareness and consideration. So I'm on that path, and it's very narrow and it's hard, but at least it's possible. So this is one stone in the pond of life. That's all I have for now. Thanks. Bye.